Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. Apologies for no video yesterday. I've been really busy with work lately, so normally Thursdays I don't have videos, but since I did do one yesterday, I went ahead and made sure that I can get one up today for you. And today we're going to be doing a player review, highlight. This is something I attempted to start a couple months ago, and have since failed at least doing it once a month. So I'm going to call this one for December. And then if you have a battle you would like for me to review, highlights, then you can do so by submitting it in the FLT Discord channel. I think there's a channel I have set up for community review. So first, you need to put your replay there. Second, you need to put your post-battle results there. And thirdly, just kind of give me like a 2-3 sentence summary of the battle, just so I kind of know what to expect, and help me distinguish and choose which player I would feature and highlight here on the channel. So today's winner is JoshWebb, which to be honest, he didn't actually submit it or anything. If you've noticed, this is on the EU server, the GN0ME Clan. And I'm actually divisioned up with Josh. I'm right here in front of him in the Des Moines. And we had this battle on New Year's Eve while I was in the US and him being in the EU. And this battle ends for him just right at the stroke of 23:59, or just before midnight. And he's going to have a pretty good battle. So I thought, you know what? We can feature this battle that kind of had, I think we talked about it, or he submitted it to Jingles at least, but I didn't see why not, that I would not be able to go ahead and submit the battle here, just because it's a good battle. I don't see quite everything that happens from Josh's perspective, because I'm going to be busy over here with this Zal and some other ships, because I'm kind of focusing on fighting this side of the island, and Josh is going to work more the 1-2 line. So action is happening as I get into a battle here with the Hindenburg, and then shortly the Zal. Josh has been taking some pot shots. We're also divisioned up with, I think it was a DCM 128 or something like that, as he's over on the 4 line. So the Schlieffen is a tier 10 battleship, a battle cruiser if you will. Rather good high speed, excellent concealment if you build for full concealment. Ooh, it just got a slap there on that Hindenburg. But very good concealment if you build for it, 12.6 kilometers with a secondary battery range of 12.5 kilometers. And that is indeed what Josh has gone for. Looks like he got the secondary build, as he has the manual secondary battery aiming skill activated here in firing on the enemy Schlieffen, who does not see him. And so being here on hotspot, we're actually in arms race. So arms race is a lot of fun. It has a lot of different buffs, reload, additional damage done, repair. As I grab the first blood and killing a broadside Zal. But Josh is going to do a really good job here on handling the 1-2 line, because it's as Des Moines is only so much I'm able to do, but I'm setting up to help deal with the Schlieffen who's being aggro and pushing in. So he's doing what you really should do in your secondary battleships. You maintain control by kiting away, letting your secondaries do the work, and then also for the Schlieffens having all these torpedoes, which have a range greater than the concealment of the Schlieffen. So your concealment 12.6, but the torpedo range is 13.5. So I find that rather ironic that as a battleship player you can stealth torpedo. So he's going to pick up his first kill here, up to 63,000 damage, as now his secondaries are firing at the Harlem with a pesky submarine already pinging him. Now if you notice, actually in the beginning of this battle there was already some reports that Josh sent out. Josh hates submarines. He does not like them at all. He hates submarines more than I do, because I hate CVs more than Josh does. Because Josh is a filthy CV lover. I don't know what we're going to do with him. Ooh! Apparently the Hindenburg didn't learn from the first time he slapped him with the Citadel, and this time he punishes him for 2 Citadels and wipes the Hindenburg off the map. That's actually a pretty good shot. That was some distance away there. So that brings Josh to his second kill as he disengages and goes dark away from the submarine, as we're all trying to find. I'm pinging the map, or will be at some point where I think he is, because the submarine is actually kind of being able to abuse sitting out on the one line and being able to keep torping towards us. He's always torped myself in my position as well on the map. DCM has control of the center of the map for now, and Josh is pushing up here and re-engaging. So to talk a little bit more about the Schlieffen. The Schlieffen has the best secondaries in the game, especially if you build for in the 6 slot. I don't remember the name of it. It's not the main battery modification 3, which would increase your main battery gun reload. I think it's auxiliary armaments modification or something. And you can have even faster firing secondaries, which are crazy good. And in addition to that, you are able to brawl well with the torpedoes when you get 8 torpedoes per side. So that's very nice. In addition to that, you have the fast damage control parties, but you have a limited number of them. So it really helps you tank and handle the fights well. I don't know how much I can say tank, because you can take a lot of pins from different directions, especially from heavy cruisers and battleships, depending, even if you are angled away. And as a tier 10 battleship, you can see she doesn't have a lot of health. She's got 76,100 max health pool. And that is to, I would say, balance the ship, because she's a very strong tier 10 battleship, very strong secondary battleship, because also for the fact that you get your hydroacoustic search, which you can pick up. I believe they nerfed it. It started out as a 6-kilometer detection of ships, and then they nerfed it down to 5.5-kilometer detection of ships, and I think torpedoes is either, is it 4? Actually, I can find out here. 3.8 kilometers, so it was close. So very nice, especially when you're brawling and pushing in, that you're pretty much a very strong battleship for being able to brawl at the tier 10 with the torpedoes, with the hydroacoustic search, and your secondaries. So Josh is being mindful of the submarine, so now we have to deal with the Maximum coming around. The Harlem just got slapped by somebody. I'm going to assume that that is the FDG, and Josh is going to come around the island. I was trying to figure out if I could, in my Des Moines position, reverse around and shoot the broadside of the Sovietsky Soyuz, but that's not quite happening yet. But Josh is, as the FDG is applying pressure, he's able to kind of move up here and play aggro here and move around this side, because the Harlem's not really going to be able to withstand him coming around, because the Harlem is a terrible tier 8 cruiser. I don't recommend playing it. It's rather a pain. So he's got this Jean Bar in the back, which I'm going to focus my fire on here shortly once I get my guns on him. But Josh is going to come around and see about dealing with this Harlem. So it comes around. The Harlem on fire. And he goes for the superstructure, which is actually really good in that situation, because he might bounce off the belt armor there if he angled, so he does well with that. And he only fired 1 turret there as well, so he wisely utilized the turrets and not needing to fire 2 turrets for that. And now he's going to dump torpedoes on the Sovietsky Soyuz. Ooh, almost, but the secondaries should be able to get in, but a lot of the secondaries are just pinning the hull of the ship there, as you can see. But yeah, he's over 400 secondary hits in total here, so ooh, and that's that armor scheme we're talking about. So that Sovietsky Soyuz did really well to aim at his stern armor, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 25 millimeter plating, maybe it's 27. as those shells go short. But I think it's 25mm plating, I think. So the Sovietsky did a good job in aiming low and punishing. So that's kind of how you can smash through if you have the large enough guns like the Sovietsky Soyuz has, which is like 406s, if I'm not mistaken. But then here on the Schlieffen, we haven't really talked about it. We haven't talked about these guns. They have their 4 20mm guns. You get 8 of them total, with your third turret being able to turn 360 degrees, which is really helpful when you're disengaging or needing to change direction of fire on either opposing side of your ship. And now that he has a Jean Bar in range, he's able to just hammer down and focus secondaries on the Jean Bar. So you can actually just watch the health pool, not to mention your fire starting potential with the secondaries, that under this type of focused fire from a Schlieffen alone, a Jean Bar is going to have a really difficult time in dealing with a Schlieffen playing this aggressive. And there's the Kraken. So he picks up his Kraken with 157,000 damage. As a division, we pick up the coordinated attack and having 7 kills. So now he has to turn to try to mitigate how much strike skip bombs he takes from the enemy CV, and has no more heals left, utilizes a fast damage control party or team. And now it's time to deal with Montana. And guess what, Montana? More secondaries on the way. And he has already 500 secondary hits already at this point in time. But one of the things that Schlieffen, these German brawlers, do really well is utilizing islands to your advantage. Especially, let's say, in the first half of the battle, or if you're in a situation like Josh, when you have low health, utilizing islands to close the distance or to just simply disengage is super helpful overall in being able to have that power as a brawling battleship. So he comes out here inside, more secondaries blasting away. You're not always going to get big hits with these guns, especially on battleships that are angled kind of well like that. But you can see those 420s that even a Hindenburg with good armor needs to be mindful to not show too much broadside, especially at range when you can just get the proper angle to get down through that the armor scheme of the Hindenburg. So now pushing forward, searching for the black. The submarine has now been dealt with the Hipper and Salmon, I believe, as Josh has to turn in to the skip bomb. So if you were dealing with skip bombs, he just completely avoided that. So it's actually really good to turn in, just how Josh illustrated for us. The sub does not have the range, so he's not going to be eating any of those sea sausages today. But because he turned to avoid the first strike of the CV, naturally the CV is able to instantly get him caught in crossfire again and get him on the second strike. So now with our team capturing the key area here in arms race, which I didn't actually talk about too much with the buffs you have, but when you can control the key area, you will get a lot of points super quick as the submarine gets detected and is up on the surface. So Josh's secondaries are firing away again already. And he can't really push the CV at this point because he's likely to die, and also the black can be a bit of a challenge there as well. So he's doing what he can for the meantime, as the Max Illman is lining up a torpedo strike. So if he cuts the throttle here, I'm wondering if he's going to do that. No, he goes full throttle, but keeps going. But as a tip, he dropped us a little too close, but he's going to avoid this one. Yeah, there you go. If you, as you're turning and then cut the throttle, that will help so you don't glide into the torpedoes as much, just for a tip there. And this looks like the submarine is about to die. As you can see, we're already up to now 930 points with the death of the submarine. So once you have control of the key area, it doesn't take very long for the battle to come to an end. So great job to Josh here in demonstrating to us the power of the Schlieffen. So let's go look at post-battle results. So as we look at the personal score, 435,000 credits, 11,000 experience, 1,300 free XP, along with a nice Confederate. Dreadnought. Kraken unleashed the coordinated attack with 177,000 damage, with 40 target hits, 5 destroyed, 569 secondary hits with some nice black ribbons there of those citadels on that poor little Hindenburg. Unfortunately, Josh did not take any other screenshots of the battle, the team score, detailed report, or credits in XP. So this is all we're going to have that I'm going to have to show you here today in ending this video. So if you haven't tried out the Schlieffen yet, definitely recommend if you go and try it out. She does really well, performs really well as a secondary battleship just because of that hydroacoustic search, your concealment, the torpedoes, an amazing secondary battery, and decent guns that can turn rather quickly. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And again, as a reminder, if you would like for me to have the chance of me to feature a battle replay of yours here on the channel, you can do so on my Discord server in the community review text channel, and drop the World of Warships replay file in there, along with the post-battle results and a just brief summary of the battle, just in helping me choose and pick which battle I feature. So until next time, take care.